Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are making some lion base adopts. Here is the lion base we are using and we will actually be adding more to it as well. I like to make more main types for the lions as I make more adopts with it. You can purchase this base on my Ko-fi with the current main types. But let's go ahead and get into the first character design. Today's designs will be prompted by my character features wheel. It's a wheel with a bunch of random character features that I've written down. This character only got 2 prompts from the wheel that I felt worked together: dog ears and a cookie theme. So this character will be a dog lion with a cookie theme. Since our base is intended for lions, all characters will receive that as an inherent prompt. Now these character designs will always start with the bare bones base. I want to make new options for the lion mane, so I don't want to use ones that I've already made, which I haven't made a big selection, so that's not too hard. Since this lion is cookie themed, what better mane to give him than a cookie? We can overload this cookie with chocolate and all the goods, which will also help with our color picking. We can match the colors to a brown cookie palette or a chocolate palette. And the color I matched with this brown chocolatey palette is purple. I picked purple because I don't do enough designs with purple. There also isn't really a color theory reason, but I did kind of think purple would be good because it's often tied with the grape flavor. Maybe he's a grape flavored cookie. I've never heard of a grape flavored cookie. Maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't, but we can make one today. And I do mean more of an artificial grape flavor, not like the actual grape, like the fruit, because I really don't think most grape flavored things like actually taste like a fruit grape. I've actually heard a lot of people say it's their least favorite flavor of like the bunch, like orange, cherry, strawberry, blue raspberry, and I have to disagree. I love grape flavored candy and gummies. I especially love grape flavored Jolly Ranchers, although it's been a long time since I've had one. I know growing up a few teachers would like pass out candy like when we were younger, and the grape Jolly Rancher was always my favorite one to grab. I always used to enjoy grape flavored soda as well, but they are a little too much for me today. I think I could maybe drink one, but little me could probably down a lot of them. And I'd only drink one today because I feel like they just feel so sugary and just a lot, and I don't want that in my system, so I just would not. For the character's personality, I made him look kind of grumpy, a grumpy lion dog. I think it's cute. I'm not necessarily like convinced it really makes sense with like the prompts I was given, but I thought it looked really cute and that's what I wanted to do. I also matched his iris and pupil shape to the chunky cookie mane shape. So his iris and pupil are not like a solid circle, it's got some chunkies in it. A big thing I focused on for this character was color balance and pattern balance. I did try to limit the palette only to the 4 colors, so those brown shades and then the 1 purple, but having just 1 shade of purple didn't feel quite right, so I eventually added another color for more depth, and I also made it like more of a blue purple. I also did need to keep spots not as full with pattern on the design and spaces to give it a spot to breathe. I did this with the front legs by not adding all the colors from the palette there. I like to overdo it a lot when it comes to things like sprinkles or freckles, things that are stackable, but I think this turned out very good. One of my favorite features for this character is his big chunky eyebrows and the spots on them. I really love a good chunky eyebrow. This is probably well-known knowledge. A lot of my characters have big chunky eyebrows, so I really like it on this character. I especially like it on grumpy characters. I also really like his grumpy energy is just really cute, and I think his grumpiness is well like drawn, especially with the way his like chin scruff is like pointy and just like the shapes of stuff. I think it looks really well together and like cohesive in the grumpiness energy. Here is the final design. You can actually buy this adopt on my Ko-fi, link will be in the description, but I really like this character. He's pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. He's honestly probably my best design for today. In my humble opinion, maybe the last design, I think these two could be tied for maybe my favorites, but this one I really like, and I was frankly really proud of him when I made him. I'm still really proud of him. For the next character, we spinned the wheel and got the prompts: space buns, short hair, a collar, and an unusual set of eyes. So this one will be fun, especially for the face and the hair. Now, when I was putting together this character features wheel, I put the prompt an unusual set of eyes so I could do actually something pretty specific when I got this prompt, and that is being able to kind of mix and match. Like if I wanted 3 eyes on one side or 5 eyes on the other. I can mix and match to the way I wanted, because if you just get a Cyclops, it's just the 1 eye. If you get the tri-eye character prompt, it's just the 2 normal and then the 1 in the middle. So for this one, I want to specifically make it very, very unusual. Now, when it comes to the hair, I did something very kind of not the way you'd expect me to go with the prompts for the hair. So the prompt was space buns and short hair. So I took that in a way of 2 sections. This line will have her main, that's going to be a darker color, and it's going to reflect that short hair prompt. It's going to be short on the top and a little bit on the neck region, has like one hair type. And then the other will be those space buns. But I didn't really want to just draw normal space buns. I actually wanted to make them long space buns. So they're kind of like a scorpion tail. There's like several balls to the tail, to the pigtail space buns. Do you know what I mean? They're pigtail space buns. That's kind of a mouthful. Pigtail space buns. And they kind of end like a little scorpion tail. I really wanted to do that. Is it perfect to the prompt? Who knows? That's up for debate, but I think it works. And I really like it for this character. I thought it was something unique and cool. I will say though, drawing those space bun pigtails took quite a while, just trying to figure out how I wanted to loop. Because I actually kind of wanted the pigtails to almost look like bandages, and I also reflected that in the coloring. I kind of wanted them to look bandage-esque, because this character was just giving feisty vibes, or she is a fighter. She's giving fighter. And I kind of wanted bandages to maybe be something that is a part of her design. And I also did end up putting the pattern also on her her arms, and put bandages there. So I think it's cool. I also if you're gonna do bandages as a theme, make it balanced. And that's a good way to make it balanced. I love the big collar as a character trait on most characters, and I think it really suits this character pretty well. I think she could be without it and still be a strong design, so that is a positive, but I also don't necessarily hate it for her design as well. I love the 2 eyes on the one side and then the 3 on the right. I also love that they're different sizes. I think that's cool. I think I nailed the prompt for that. Big time. Now for the color palette, I actually had seen a color palette on a color palette website that I specifically wanted for this character, so I went there and I grabbed it. It's like a generate color palette website. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I've used them in videos before. It's just, you can generate color palettes. That's basically what it is. And I saw this one, I'm I want to use that. So that's what I grabbed and used. I didn't pick the color palette myself, so I can't necessarily take credit for that, but I utilized it very well with this design. I knew it would work for this design, and it was so easy and great. I really love how she looks. I really love how that darker color really pops in a lot of spots, and I really love it behind those 3 eyes. I feel like it also makes it more of a focal point and makes your eye go to it immediately, which is always a positive point, is having something in your drawing that your eye goes to immediately, especially those 3 eyes, because they're so unique and cool. Now, something interesting I actually did for this design, which actually was influenced by something I've been doing recently, and that's when I've been doing my makeup. I've been doing every once in a while putting 1 beauty mark on my face. That way it takes the pressure off of something being perfect by adding a flaw, an intentional flaw. And I thought that would be really cute for this character, and I felt like it would add to her feistiness by giving her a few birthmarks around her body, especially one right by her chin, or you know what I mean, on her cheek. I just think it's really cool, and I feel like it also just takes pressure off of wanting to make things perfect by adding something that's intentionally not perfect by beauty standards, you know what I mean? I think it's cool and fun to do. Here is the final adopt, and like the first one, you can actually buy this on my Ko-fi as well. I really like this character, don't get me wrong. I do like the first one, and then the last one we're gonna do just a little bit better, but this one I still really appreciate it, and I really appreciate its uniqueness. I think she's really cool. She's great. I also really like the color palette. Now for the next character, we spun the wheel and we got short hair, again, cat ears, stitches, eye patch, and horns, which for a KateKruzan design, you think I'd do great, and you think it would be my cup of tea, because this prompt list I just feel is very KateKruzan, and this ends up being my least favorite design. I don't think it's a bad design necessarily, it's just not hitting the mark for me. Now, since I'm not a big fan of this character and I don't have much to say about it, it's a good character's design. It's just not like a character I particularly like want to keep or like question about keeping. I like it. She's just not for me today. Do you know what I mean? But I can tell you the best way to use my base, this lion base that I have up on my Ko-fi. Now for me, I will pop it in Fire Alpaca. I'll pop the base right down, and I can pick the main I want. Sometimes I don't want to pick a main and I just draw a new one, so you can do that. Or you can use a main that I have available with the base, because it comes with the lion base and then it comes with mains that you can swap out and stuff. But what I like to do is I like to put it in Fire Alpaca. Sometimes I like to draw a line down the middle of the canvas to really see the symmetry of the design. And I like to sketch out using like the symmetry tool, flipping it back and forth and making it like symmetrical so I don't have to do more work than I need to, and making the design that way. I would draw over the base and not necessarily just color in the base. If you want to color in the base, that's totally fine, and you totally can do that. That is a way to use the base. I've done it before to test the base and its qualities, and I'm sure I'm probably going to do it again, like if I have like 15 minutes or 30 minutes to kill. But if you want to make like a really more unique character, I would put down the base and then go do line art over it. It's also such an easy base to use because it's not that much. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't see everything on the character. You don't have a side view. You don't have like a bunch. It's just like a good way to get the startings of a character, because I would never use this for a character design and have it be the character's final ref sheet. That is not the intention. The intention is to get a design down and use the character. You know what I mean? Just to get a design down, get something you like. That's the goal. So that's the way I would recommend using it, is drawing line art over the base and then using symmetry to like copy it on the other side. To be fair, the points I just made about being positive, it's not too much, you can get the startings of a character, that definitely can be a negative for some people. Some people want like a base that's going to have everything so they can get everything on the ref sheet. So if you're one of those people, I don't recommend this base for you. But like if you want to just like get concepts down and get like, you could use a prompt wheel and get prompts down and concepts, I'd recommend it. It's one of my favorite ways to do character design, and especially on days where I feel so overwhelmed. Just doing a simple character design makes me feel like I've gotten something done. It makes me feel, you know, a little happier just to get like a new character done or try an art challenge or something like that. Here is the final design. I don't hate her. I don't think she's a bad design. I think she's a good design. I'm just not, I just don't want her as of today. Like, she's not my energy right now. I think the biggest reason I'm not like clicking with her in my brain is because she's feral, and I think this energy of this type of character I would prefer so much more as anthro. There's just some types of characters where I'm not happy with keeping if they're feral. There's some characters I'm like, I need to change this to anthro to be thoroughly happy with it, and I think this is an example of that. But I still really like it, just not for me for today. I can think of several people though where I'm like, this is absolutely like a character that they would love, and it is available on my Ko-fi if you want to go purchase it. Now, like I said, after the first design, this character and the first design are kind of tied between being my favorites. I think this design turns out pretty amazing, so stay tuned to see the final results. But we spun the wheel and we got the prompts jewelry, cupcake theme, and kisses. And specifically, it's like kiss imprints on the skin. So let's get into that. Now, my main focus for getting down this design is making sure I get all the prompts well enough, because kind of kisses imprint and jewelry and cupcake, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like all those go together greatly, but it's kind of a lot to do in one design in my brain and inherently when I was going into it. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything and that it was like decently readable. Now, the first character type or personality that came to my mind was a lady, a regal lady with nice, beautiful lashes and makeup, and like it kind of fits with the kiss imprints to also give her lipstick. So come on, we gotta do that. But the jewelry, come on, she's a regal lady. I also end up giving her a crown, which, girl, work. I think she turns out stunning. I just love a good regal character, and I think she's that to a T. When tackling that cupcake thromped. Oh my gosh, thromped. When tackling that cupcake prompt, I did 3 things. First off, her mane is going to be like a big chunk of frosting, so I want it to look like icing is her mane. The second thing is I want to put cherries throughout her design, because like a common like cartoon topping for I guess it's for ice cream. Is it cherry? I guess it could be for cupcakes too, right? I'm not crazy. I feel like a big like topping for cartoons is cherries, like big cherries. Am I crazy? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So I put cherries throughout her design. And then the third thing I did was give her like would it be a cape? Some sort of like coat that looks like a cupcake liner. I thought that was a very kind of fun, creative way to give her like an outfit that matches the cupcake prompt. Now the color palette was like a whole experience in and of itself. I started out doing like saturated, like pastel rainbow, if that makes any sense. So like it still has a little bit of pastel in it, but it's more saturated. Which I feel like that description makes sense. That might be like color theory stupid, but I feel like it makes sense. So I started out with that, but I realized I don't know if I really want that. I feel like it's kind of giving tacky or bland or whatever. I don't know. It could work if I like had balanced it. I think it probably could, but I kind of wanted to do like a fiery palette, like some with like oranges, yellows, reds, and then black and white. I don't know, there was something that was speaking to me on that, and I'm really glad I did, because I ended up pulling out like such a unique, cool design from it. I think she looks so cool. I think she's almost like spicy. Like it's just so interesting to have this color palette with the prompts I picked, because typically like when you think of cupcake like jewelry or like feminine traits, you don't think of a color palette like this. So I'm like really happy that she's kind of out of the box, out of the norm, and looks like she could breathe fire. Like she's really, really cool and I love her. But I did just try to balance all the colors as best I can, even adding sprinkles, because like I'm going to add sprinkles to a design. I'm gonna do it if I can, you know what I mean? I love doing that type of stuff. It's like time filler, and that's like, I think I've said that before, that's like one of my favorite things to do, is just like silly time filler drawing stuff. Here is the final design. I really, really, really love her. She is up for sale on my Ko-fi. Unfortunate for me, but good for whoever wants her. I just need to get in the habit of not keeping every character I design, because it's also not probably financially the best option for me, because I spend a lot of time on character design, and I would also just like for other people to have designs that I make. So if you want to support an artist, go buy her if you want her. You don't have to, obviously. You can also buy the base or the other characters in this video today as well. Thank you so much for stopping by on my channel today. I really, really appreciate it. And if you also do buy and adopt, I mean, that really means the world to me. And it also helps supports me and helps supports my pets, like my cat Opie and my guinea pigs, my 4 beautiful little ladies. I love them. And frankly, a lot of the money that goes to me goes to them, or honestly just gets put back into the channel regardless. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I love you. God loves you. Stay safe.